first thing you want to do is think about your campaign angle. There's a lot of campaigns or stories that are being done that are just pretty bland, like best cities for blah, 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 blah. But instead of that, why don't you try to take a different angle, like the best suburbs, right? Like no one really talks about suburbs, the best small towns. Like let's highlight the regions that are more unknown and bring those out. So in this case, we were highlighting not just the best beaches in America, it was the best secret, the best unknown beaches, the ones that people didn't really hear about before. So we brought those to light, and that created a sense of curiosity, a sense of intrigue.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Magic PR Show. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, and today I'm with Gabriela Covay. She is the founder of Bright Valley Marketing, a boutique SEO and PR agency serving clients worldwide. She and her team specialize in getting clients featured in renowned media outlets like ABC News, CBS News, Bloomberg, Daily Herald, Miami Herald, and so much more, and countless others through innovative digital PR campaigns. Gabriela, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Gabriela. Do you go by Gabby?
Gabby, yeah. Only my parents call me Gabriela when they're pissed off at me.
Love it. So I gave a little brief introduction about yourself. I would love to know a little bit more, like to kind of walk us through your journey in in digital PR.
Yeah, well, the journey stems back to 2009. I'll give you a little bit of a journey way back when I actually started diving into digital marketing as a whole. Started helping my mom out with her website, building her website for her business, then started diving into the world of SEO. And, at the time it was all meta keywords. Insert a keyword here and you rank number one. I was like, wow, this is too easy. Obviously, times have changed entirely.
Yep.
But then fast forward to 2016? Yeah. We were working with a lot of local businesses in the Bay Area where you're located. And a lot of these local businesses are real experts in their fields, right? So they were getting a lot of coverage from local media outlets, and we were working hand in hand with those media outlets. We would sometimes reach out to them like, hey, we noticed that you featured our client, but you didn't link back to them, right? Because we're like, we need to get a backlink from this publication, because obviously we want to build backlinks for our clients, right? That has like tremendous SEO benefits. So we started seeing the impact that these types of media PR backlinks had on our clients' visibility, and we realized, look, this is interesting. This is important. This is something that is way more valuable than those farmy guest posts that everyone was doing at the time, niche insertions and everything. That's what was working. But I saw, I kind of saw the future. I was like, this is not sustainable. Google will catch up with these really spammy websites and tactics and eventually penalize these companies for using these tactics, and it's just not sustainable. My vision in general was always to do something that's long-term and sustainable and poses as little risk to my clients as possible. So that's kind of when we started doing more digital PR. And then really it was only until maybe like a year and a half or so ago when it really started picking up, because it's just nowadays such a critical component of any digital marketing strategy. Digital PR is all about brand building. It goes way beyond just getting those backlinks, those juicy white hat earned media backlinks, right? Which is like obviously why we all do digital PR. But then there's that brand component, right? Like where you're building a brand. Brands get featured in the media all the time. Look at Disney, look at Tesla, look at Nike. They're constantly talked about. And these brands, people trust brands. Google trusts brands. The helpful content update that just rolled out killed so many affiliate sites that were not built as brands. They were just build as money-making machines, right? Like let's not even review any products. Let's just see what other people are saying on Amazon, put a product review out there, make a ton of money, right? But they were not invested into their website's future, and you need to start thinking in terms of brand building. So that's why it's become so important now, and that's why we primarily focus on digital PR, of course, SEO as well. So yeah.
Love that. So were there other companies that you're working with, and then before you started your agency?
Yeah, there was one company in Sacramento actually that I worked for, and that's when I really started getting my feet wet in the SEO industry. I had really very limited knowledge beyond just the knowledge I had with helping my mom's, website and everything. So I started diving into the SEO world. In 2013, I had a very, I mean, I didn't, I worked at that company for less than a year, and then I ultimately decided, look, you know what? I want to do this on my own. I want to start doing this for myself and I want to
Hmm.
choose my clients. I want to work with
Oh.
people whose businesses I believe in, that are ethical, that are doing the right things, that share the same values, and I want to cherry pick those clients. I want to align myself and my team with those types of clients that we truly believe in, and that's why
Hmm.
I started Bright Valley Marketing. I mean, we've been in business now for 10 years, yeah, so it's pretty
Wow.
crazy, a decade.
Nice. Nice. So how big's your team now?
We're actually still quite small, believe it or not. We're
Mhm.
like less than, like I think it's like 15 people now.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we're not a huge team, but we're most of us are senior level, marketing people. We've been in the industry for so long. We've seen all the, ebbs and flows and the tides turning and churning and all the stuff that's, constantly changing in our world. And we understand what works, what doesn't work. We've tried out so many different strategies. So yeah, we're a very closely knit team. I would say almost like a family, honestly. It's pretty
Love
nice.
that. Love
Yeah.
that. Love that. So when you actually transition to more of a digital PR centered agency, I'm curious, like what were some like skills that you have to develop to like get into more digital PR or any knowledge? Like, did you have any mentors? Were there any like resources that you looked into?
Yeah, so at the time, I mean, really, it was just about like seeing what the media was covering, locally for our
Ah.
clients, seeing what the stories that were getting traction and looking at the engagement that those stories generated, in the comment sections, right, of like those articles. People would like comment and say, yeah, this is right, or like, no, this is crazy, and I agree with this. So there was a lot of engagement that was happening with these stories that generated a lot of traction. So we were seeing
Mm-hmm.
what the media was interested in. We were seeing the stories that were being published, and then we sort of like reverse engineered those stories and got inspired by those stories, and over time started applying those same sort of tactics to our own campaigns. So really, it was trial and error. You got to just kind of see what's being done out there, see what
Mm-hmm.
is successful, and sort of reverse engineer that for your own website or whatever client that you're working with.
I love that. Can you maybe give us an example of like how you reverse engineered like what someone else's like, other campaigns to actually kind of develop your own process?
Yeah, so if you ever, I don't know if you follow CNBC, but they publish so many different surveys and studies and data campaigns, Wallet Hub as well. So they're constantly putting out their, they've got their like own internal PR teams, Wallet Hub. So you can see those stories. You can see the ones that get shared. You can see
Okay.
what works really well, and if you just follow these companies, you'll start to kind of notice patterns and trends that you can pick up on and
I
apply.
love that. So, how far of a date do you go back? Like, I mean, is there like when you say maybe current, or like can you do go far back as maybe things that were published, month ago, year ago, still working within the process of figuring this out?
I would say with like, yeah, like 6 months to a year,
Okay.
anything recent up to a year or so is still sort of slight, current. Obviously, the more recent, the better. So, again, this is just really to get inspired and see what's working and what's getting traction and engagement, because journalists get measured on engagement, how often their articles are shared, are people talking about it. So
Hmm.
you got to do something that, gets people talking, sparks that dialogue.
I love that. I feel like that can be a great course. And speaking of courses, do you have any courses yourself, or like any like current projects you have working on right now?
Well, I've got sort of. I not a lot that I can share at the moment, but I've got
Okay.
some fun stuff going on.
Oh, nice,
So
nice.
stay tuned. Yeah.
And then where will we be able to know or see once you release it?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel. I just kind of
Okay.
started dabbling more with social media this past year and a half, maybe just a couple, 6 months to a year. I don't even know when I started my YouTube channel, but I'm like, I need to get on here and share
Hmm.
what I know because I feel like, I do know a thing or two now, having been in the industry
Yep.
for quite some time. And it's just a great way to connect to people. So yeah, my YouTube channel, yeah, just search for my name, Gabriela Covay. I publish a lot of tips, SEO tips, affiliate marketing as well, not just
Okay.
digital PR. So yeah, follow me there.
Love that. Love that. Definitely be checking that out. And I'm curious now, thinking about your career in digital PR, what was like one of your most memorable campaigns that was pretty successful?
Yeah, we've had a few, but I think I would say that the most successful campaign was one that we ran last year. It was about the top hidden or secret beaches that people want to go to in 2023. And it was a travel related campaign, and that got like 250 media placements,
Ooh.
landed like maybe six TV segments, TV coverage as well. So our client was very, very happy with that.
Hmm.
So yeah, when your campaign makes it to TV, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the benefits are those backlinks, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what we care about. But when
Yeah.
once you get to TV status, it's like, whoa, you know?
Yeah.
So
No, that's interesting.
yeah, so our campaigns oftentimes do make it to on TV, which is pretty cool, and that's just kind of a byproduct of a strong story,
Yep.
because again, it gets people talking, it creates engagement, it's captivating. So your story speaks for itself.
Love that. So I'm curious, what would the media or like the TV channels talk about? Would they just kind of reference, like, say, "Oh, we saw this article here," or they would kind of reference it? Like, I'm curious, like how that is mentioned.
Yeah, so they'll just mention the client's website, like in a
Okay.
recent survey done by blah 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 blah. This
Ah.
and then they'll add their own like spin to it, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's serious.
Hmm.
But we always try to do stories that are positive,
Hmm.
or at least like neutral to positive. We don't want to, obviously negativity sells,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But we try really to not go down that
Okay.
route, and just really do stories that are uplifting or just like meaningful and yeah.
Love that. Love that. Okay, let's taking that campaign, that particular campaign. Let's. What are the three things that you think was that you did that you can help that we can take away and have actionable on our end that we can kind of repeat that success?
Yeah, so the first thing you want to do is think about your campaign angle.
Okay.
So there's a lot of campaigns or stories that are being done that are just pretty bland, like best cities for blah 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 blah. But instead of that, why don't you try to take a different angle, like the best suburbs, right? Like no one really
Mm.
talks about suburbs, the best small towns. Like let's highlight the regions that are more unknown and bring those out. So in this case, we were highlighting not just the best beaches in America, it was the best secret, the best unknown beaches, the ones that people didn't really hear about before. So we brought those to light, and that created a sense of curiosity, a sense of intrigue. Oh, what are these beaches? I want to go. So
Hmm.
it got people thinking about their travel plans and like, yeah, I want to go to this cool beach I've never heard of. It's like right next to me. So it's thinking like that. The next thing is yeah, I would say make sure obviously that the campaign idea that you're coming up with is relevant to your own website. If you are a business website, this type of campaign about a beach, or beaches or dogs or cats is not going to work. You need to stay in line with your niche, your industry, right? So if you're a business website, think about business topics, employees, employers, stuff like that. And the next thing I would say is time your outreach correctly. In
Oh,
our
okay.
case, yeah, so in our case, with the best secret beaches campaign, we timed it right when summer started. Like that's when we started outreach because that is what everyone was talking about. Summer, what are your summer plans? What are you gonna do this summer? And summer. So journalists were hungry for summer content, and the timing was perfect. So weather was starting to warm up, right? And
Hmm.
Yeah, so time your campaign properly. Don't do outreach like during the holiday season,
Yep.
between December to January. I mean, journalists are going to be out of, office. They're with their families. I mean, there are going to be some that are working, but just not as many. Don't outreach at 9 p.m. at night on a Friday night because everyone's not in their office.
Yeah.
Don't outreach on a national holiday. Like, think about that. Think about
Okay.
when journalists are working. When is your campaign? When is outreach going to be most relevant and most impactful?
Love that. Speaking of journalists, I'm curious, like, how do you advise people to start building their own professional network of journalists?
So the best way to really start with that is, I don't know if you're too familiar with Harrow link building.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so whenever if you are doing some sort of like link building with Harrow, and you do get featured in a publication, thank the journalist and ask the journalist, hey, if you have any stories in the future that I can help with, let me know. You use me as a source. And ask them, do you have a newsletter that I can sign up with too? Because oftentimes journalists will have like a newsletter where they're like sending out newsletters to their contacts, asking them for quotes, expert quotes, etc. So sign up on their newsletter list, and just stay in touch with them. Add them on LinkedIn if they have LinkedIn. A lot of them are on Twitter or X, right? So yeah, and thank them and just like develop that relationship. But also realize that with digital PR, it's not necessary to have these close relationships with journalists because the story will speak for itself. And if you use tools like Prowly, Cision Media Database, which is what we use, Prowly is kind of like the more budget friendly option. That you don't really need, you don't need these journalist contacts. Your story will speak for itself if it's strong. But of course, it does help having those connections. It's just, yeah.
Love that. Thank you for sharing those tools. So I'm curious now, if someone wants to get into digital PR themselves and become a digital PR professional, like what advice would you kind of give them?
Okay, I think, you need to start with yourself. Launch your own website as like a test website and do campaigns for your own website. I think that's the
Ah,
best way to do it, really, because then you'll learn what works, what doesn't work, outreach techniques, the way, what subject lines work best for your outreach message and whatnot. I really think you should really start with your own project. It's golden, and you'll learn so much. And especially if you're in the digital marketing world, that could be kind of like your guinea pig website where you can also apply different SEO strategies
yeah.
and who knows, maybe you'll build it to something amazing, right?
I
Maybe
love that.
you'll
Love
build a
that.
brand. So,
Yes, yes, yes. So, I mean, being a digital PR expert yourself, I'm curious. Like, where do you see digital PR going? What's the future of digital PR?
yeah, well, as you probably know, AI is infiltrating everything. It's changing the way everything is being done. And I think, I think AI is going to really affect digital PR for the better. I think it's going to make data gathering easier. We'll probably be able to use our, GPT chatbots to analyze a bunch of data and extrapolate key trends and information and everything that can help us with our digital PR campaigns. It's just revolutionizing everything, and I think, yeah, with digital PR, it's no exception. It's going to affect that as well. I mean, it already kind of is.
Love it, love it. Okay, so I mean, to wrap things up, I'm curious. Do you have any like podcast recommendations, book recommendations for our audience out here? And then also, please let us know how we can get a hold of you.
Book recommendations. I mean, really, just follow people who work in this industry.
Okay.
There's so many different agencies out there that do digital PR. Many of them are based in the UK. Rise at Seven, Carrie Rose, JBH, Andrew Holland. Andrew
Yeah.
also publishes a lot of SEO tips. So
Yeah.
integrated with digital PR. So that's really cool. I mean, just really, there's a wealth of information, especially on LinkedIn. If you follow these people, you'll learn so much. And yeah, with me, yeah, you can just, like I said, Gabriela Covay. You can find me on YouTube. I try to publish as much information as I can about digital PR and whatever I can that's helpful. So
Love it, love it. Thank you so much, Gabby, for being on the show. It was a great chatting with you.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.